O'clock here on Morning Live. Let's take a look at our top story for News at 8. President Cyril Ramaphosa, in his capacity as ANC leader, is meeting the ANC's stalwarts group for the first time this morning since his election as party president. The meeting follows a souring of the relationship between the veterans and the mother body during the tenure of former President Jacob Zuma. For more on the story, let's now cross live to our reporter Aldrin Sampear. He's in Centum this morning. Aldrin, a very, very good morning to you. Talk to us about the agenda for the meeting.
Well, yes, this is indeed an important meeting considering the frosty relationship that there has been between the stalwarts, the veterans, as well as the mother body. You can remember that last year, just ahead of the ANC's 54th conference, the ANC veterans and the stalwarts had been pushing for a national consultative conference. The conference did go ahead, but it didn't have the blessings of the ANC's mother body. But now we see that this as an attempt by the ANC's newly elected president, as well as the deputy president, who is already here, that is Didi Mabuza, of trying to mend the relationship between themselves as well as the ANC veterans. Joining me now for more on this is ANC spokesperson Pule Mabi. Let's just quickly speak about the importance of this meeting. We've heard from various stalwarts, even including the former president of the ANC, Thabo Mbeki, speaking about the role that's expected to be played by the ANC veterans.
Well, thanks, Aldrin. You will know that this is a directive of the 54th National Conference, which was held in December, to make sure that the ANC engages with everyone, with the veterans and all of that, but that the veterans themselves are an important source of wisdom. Their bona fides can't be questioned. They have been in the ANC for as long as they can recall themselves. So this is actually part of the message that the president of the ANC has been driving forward. Part of what we have seen from the leadership of the ANC, a gesture and posture of renewal, uniting all of our structures and all of that. Because when we do that, gaining the confidence of society also happens naturally. Because you need all the progressives to stand on one side, so that the implementation of our own radical socio-economic transformation program is made easier. Tapping into the wisdom of those who have been there, trying to understand how they did overcome some of the challenges that would have existed when some of them were in the leadership of the state and all of that. So this begins to make sure that you deal also with public confidence.
I wonder, though, is this going to be the last meeting that the president as well as the deputy president will be having with the stalwarts, considering that you have such a small group that is part of this meeting, but the initial group, they were close or just over 101 of the veterans who had raised concerns around the trajectory of the party?
Well, without speaking ahead of myself, from what I have seen, I think the president of the ANC, even on many other issues, has always taken a conciliatory approach, believed that dialogue is necessary to try and make sure that you drive certain things further forward. So engagements like this, I could only predict that will become a permanent feature of his tenure as president of the ANC.
And actually, speaking about this becoming a permanent feature, even the former president, the President Jacob Zuma, who once spoke, actually at the 54th conference during his last speech, spoke about him now joining the ANC Veterans League and going back and trying to instill the duties of what the ANC Veterans League should be really doing. So could we be seeing the former deputy president also, rather the former president also being part of such meetings?
I think that all veterans of the ANC, given their wisdom and years of service in our own structures, I'm sure will be welcomed to still share their own experience. I mean, there is experience to be shared as well, you know, from various veterans, including from President Zuma. So I don't think that there's really an issue. We don't have to isolate individual leaders. We must understand that veterans are an important source of wisdom.
Well, certainly. Even former President Thabo Mbeki said that he is willing to also help the party going forward, and we'll have to wait and see how exactly that plays out. It'll be quite interesting to see a meeting between the former presidents of the ANC, including the likes of Kgalema Motlanthe, who was the deputy president of the ANC. There was actually a director that came from the NEC with regards to that, to start that group.
Yes.
Just tell us how far are we with regards to that?
Well, you would know, in our earlier NEC, we had issued an invite. So the former President Thabo Mbeki, former President Jacob Zuma, actually former presidents of the ANC, are supposed to be ex-officio members of the National Executive Committee. It is really a matter of availability and how they really express choices of wanting to attend those meetings or not. But such an invite has already been conveyed to them and all of that, because we believe, especially with the young ones, can learn a lot from them. I mean, look, nothing replaces wisdom. That's what we need. We need so that we can move forward. And we also don't stumble and make certain mistakes that might have been resolved by the leadership previously.
And we'll have to wait and see exactly how those issues will be resolved. I think I just heard the motorcade, but I'm not seeing the motorcade, the presidential motorcade. And that will be President Cyril Ramaphosa, as well as the Deputy President Didi Mabuza, who's already here meeting with the ANC veterans and the stalwarts. Exactly what are some of the topical issues and what will the outcome of this meeting will be. We'll have to wait and see exactly how that pans out. We'll give you an update as soon as that meeting comes to an end. It's back to you in studio.
All right, thank you so much, Aldrin. As you said, we'll wait and see what comes of that particular meeting. Moving